Whoa! Alright, so writing the equations of lines. There are going to be thrice different things going on today. So there will be 3 different kinds of problems, and there will be 3 different kinds of tools in your toolbox. Okay? So let's start with the tools in our toolbox. So first off, we have the 3 different forms of lines. Okay? So my question to you is this. What are they? What are the 3 different equations or forms of an equation of a line? Give me one of them. Which one is that? That is slope-intercept form. Correct. Y equals mx plus b. Are there any things that we need to know about that? Like, is there any extra conditions, or straight up that's what it is? Straight up that's what it is. I concur. Okay? M is the slope, B is my y-intercept. Yep, straight up, great form, love it. Okay? Give me another one. We got the easy one out of the way. What do you got, Shalene? AX plus BY equals C. Anything else that I got to know about that one? Anything else that I got to know about that one? A is always positive. So that one comes with it some conditions. Okay. That leaves me the point slope form. I know sometimes I ask a lot, but if you don't know it right off the top of your head, it's probably in your notes, more than likely one singular page backwards, because we just talked about it on Friday, or it might be in the front cover of a folder or binder, because we also took notes on Friday on a separate sheet of paper too. Sometimes I ask a lot. Ask you to look back. What do you got here? Yeah, you.
Y minus Y1.
Y sub 1?
Yeah. Equals
The quantity. Yep.
X.
Yep.
X.
Minus X sub 1. Yep. Love it. Okay. Any extra conditions that go along with that one? Okay. Now, I will tell you that in terms of today, the point slope form is going to be your first go-to tool. Okay? That's going to be where you're going to start making the equation. Okay? So that's like when you're building something or when you're fixing something, a lot of people have that go-to tool. You know what I mean? Like mine is my channel locks pliers. If I got a job, that's the one thing that I know I gotta have along with me is my channel locks pliers. Okay? That's my go-to tool. That's the first thing I grab for in my toolbox. Okay? In your writing equations of lines toolbox, that's your go-to tool. That's your channel locks pliers. Okay? Your finished product, your answer, if you will, will be one of those two. Okay? Now, I don't know if you've ever built anything in your life, okay? But you don't start building by being done, okay? There's work that has to go into the building process, okay? You don't start by being done, and that's how you finish. So you're going to start down here in the point-slope form, and you're going to finish up in slope-intercept or standard form. Now, there are going to be 3 different kinds of problems, okay? And within each problem, or within each type of problem, will come how your answer is supposed to be written, okay? If it says put your answer in standard form, okay, and you don't put it in standard form, then you answered the question 2 plus 4 equals Oklahoma. Okay? Right? 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 is not Oklahoma. Okay? Alright? So, just so you know, okay, read the problem. It will specifically say what type of answer your problem should, or what type of form your answer should be in. If it doesn't specifically say, then you can put it in whatever form you want. Okay? More than likely, you're going to put it in y equals mx plus b form because that's the easiest form. It's the form that you know and love. Okay? Okay? But if it says specifically put it in standard form, your answer better not have any fractions, not have any decimals, and that a value better be positive. Okay? All right. So, my first style of point, it says find the equation of the line that passes through a specific point, in this case it's 8 comma negative 5, and has a slope of 1/4, and I want it in slope-intercept form. So the first style is you're given a point and a slope. Okay? So, this then is the point. This then is the slope, okay? Specifically inside of the point, this is x sub 1, and this is y sub 1. So we're going to start with y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. Let me scroll down here a little bit. There we go. Okay. So that's going to be y is going to stay y. My y sub 1 is negative 5. My slope is positive 1/4. X is going to stay x. My x sub 1 is 8. So after I plugged in all of my values, it now looks like this. Now I've got to do some math to go along with that. Truly, y minus negative 5 is y plus 5. And then I can distribute this 1/4 into both of those spots, giving me 1/4 x and then minus 2. It said put my answer in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form was y equals mx plus b form. So then I need to here subtract 5, and then that gives me y equals 1/4 x minus 7. Quick check to make sure I'm right. If I plug in my x value from my point, I should get out my y value of the point, if it truly goes through that point. Okay, 8 times 1/4 is 2. 2 minus 7 is negative 5, and negative 5 is equal to negative 5. So we found it. Okay. What I would like you to do now is I would like you to find me the equation of the line that passes through the point 8 comma negative 1 and has a slope of negative 1/2. So that's going to be y minus negative 1 is equal to negative 1/2 times x minus 8. Little distributive action there gives me y plus 1 equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. Does not say which form to go into, so I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form. Subtract 1, that gives me y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Standard form would be x plus 2y equals 6. Questions on the first style? Given the point and the slope, find me the equation of the line. Second style, you're going to be given 2 points. So I want the slope, the line that passes through those 2 points. Find the standard form in this case. Okay? Well, so now comes with it an extra step involved. And that first step is you need to find the slope. You're always going to start with the slope, so you need to find it first. Okay? Remembering that the slope of a line connecting 2 points, we subtract the y's over subtracting the x's. Subtract the y's over subtract the x's. Okay? So in this particular case, the slope of this line is going to be 1 minus negative 9 all over negative 2 minus 3, which is going to be positive 10 over negative 5, which gives me negative 2. If you went the other way, negative 9 minus 1 over 3 minus negative 2, you would have gotten negative 10 over positive 5, still giving you a slope of negative 2. Okay? Then, what you're going to do is you are going to use either of the 2 points. And the slope to get your equation. Okay, so you're going to use either one of those 2 points and the slope to get your equation. I will do it using both of them. Okay, so y minus y sub 1. So in my first one, it would be y minus positive 1 is equal to negative 2 times the quantity x minus negative 2. So that's using negative 2 comma 1. In the other one, it is y minus negative 9 is equal to negative 2 times the quantity x minus 3. Distributing negative 2, y minus 1 equals negative 2x. Really, this is plus 2 times negative 2 is minus 4. So then that would become y equals negative 2x minus 3. Over here, this would become y plus 9 equals negative 2x plus 6, which then becomes y equals negative 2x minus 3. So either point gets me the same line, as it should. But in this particular one, it was asking for the answer in standard form. So standard form is ax plus by equals c. X and y are on the same side. No fractions, no decimals, a is positive. So I would have to add 2x to both sides. And then I ask myself, are there any fractions or decimals? Answer is no. Second thing I need to ask myself is the coefficient on x, the a value, is that positive? And the answer is yes, so then I am done. What I would like you to do now is I would like you to find me the equation of the line that passes through those 2 points. So first thing I got to do is I got to find the slope. So the slope is going to be negative 2 minus 10 all over 4 minus 0. That is going to be negative 12 over 4. I get a slope of negative 3. Pick one of the points. Because there's a 0 in that second point, I'm going to use that one. So then that would be y minus 10 is equal to negative 3 times the quantity x minus 0. We want this one in standard form too, so that's going to be y minus 10 equals negative 3x plus 0, so I'm just going to write it as negative 3x. Because I need it in standard form, I'm going to add 3x, while at the same time I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So then that gives me 3x plus y is equal to 10, and that does not have any fractions, it does not have any decimals, and it has a positive a value, so that is my standard form. Okay. This was one of those rare occurrences where we could have gone directly to the y equals mx plus b form because we had the slope of negative 3 and we had the b because this point right here is my y-intercept. Okay. If we saw that from the start, we could have gone directly to slope-intercept form and then just put that into standard form too. Okay. The third style is you will be given a specific point and a condition. Okay? And the condition that you will be given will be, I want a parallel line or I want a perpendicular line. Remembering from last week that in parallel lines, the slopes are equal. Okay. So I would first find the slope of the line that's given, and then I would make that would then be my slope in throughout the problem for the rest of the problem. If they are perpendicular, they are opposite reciprocals. Not just reciprocal slopes, not just opposite slopes. They are opposite reciprocal slopes. They have to be both. Okay? So, here is a problem that goes along with that. So, I want to find the equation of the line that passes through the point 3, 4 and is perpendicular to the line y equals 3x plus 8. Well, so the first thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find my slope. So in the line y equals 3x minus 8, what is the slope? What is the slope of that line? What you got, Deets? 3 over 1, or just 3, right? Okay, right? But that's good that you said 3 over 1. I like that because that's going to come into play in a little bit. Because then it's written in fraction form. I like that. Okay? So to make that perpendicular, I have to opposite reciprocal that. So the opposite part makes it become negative. The reciprocal part makes it become it's 3 over 1. The reciprocal part makes it become 1 over 3. So the slope here is negative 1/3. And that then is the slope that I use now for the rest of the problem. If I were to use the slope 3 over 1, that would be a parallel case. But I want to be perpendicular. So now I use the point and my new slope to get my equation. So that would be y minus 4 equals negative 1/3 times x minus 3. Did it say which form this answer needed to be in? Okay, so I can go in any form I want. I'm going to go in y equals mx plus b form then. Oops, that one double jumped almost. Huh? Distribute y minus 4 equals negative 1/3 x plus 1. I get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5. Try that one. Okay, so step number 1 says we got to find the slope, right? Okay. Well, what is the slope of the line x equals 5? Oops. What is that slope? What type of line is x equals 5? Russell?
Parallel?
Not parallel. What, Bailey? Vertical. It's a vertical line. Yep, so it's straight up and down. Right? Okay, remember x equals our vertical lines, y equals our horizontal lines. Okay? So what's the slope of vertical lines? Jenna, what's the slope? Undefined, right? Okay? So I can't use my point slope form because my slope is undefined, right? So now we've got to go back and we've got to work off of prior knowledge in that for vertical lines, parallel lines are x equals some number. And then you would take the x part of that point. Perpendicular lines are horizontal lines, so it'd be y part, or y equals some number, so it'd be the y part of that point. Likewise, if it's a horizontal line, then if it's parallel, it's going to be y equals some number, and if it's perpendicular, it's going to be x equals some number. Okay? Parallel lines, perpendicular lines with vertical and horizontals are one of them. Okay? So if it's vertical, parallel is another vertical, perpendicular is a horizontal. If it's horizontal, parallel is another horizontal, perpendicular is a vertical line. Okay? So this is a vertical line. I want to be parallel to the vertical line. So a vertical line parallel is going to be x equals some number, and it's going to be the x part of the point, which is 2. If we would have said perpendicular here, so perpendicular to the line x equals 5, then it would have been y equals 6. Okay. There will be some vertical and horizontal lines on your homework this evening. Speaking of which, there it is. Okay. This homework will be due next week, Monday. I remind you again that you will have a quiz this week, Friday, in class, and that tomorrow there will be a formative assessment in the MRC.